Greetings and welcome back to Room 303 in our chats with Emily as we are calling our readings through the poetry of Emily Dickinson. We are in the Johnson edition. We turn now to the little poem 397, When Diamonds Are a Legend. This is an interesting poem. It takes us again back to Higginson. We were just mentioning him in our previous lecture, our work over 396. And letter number 767, Emily said in that letter to Thomas Higginson, quote, I never wear jewels, end quote. So the brooch and the earrings that are being played around with in this poem seem to suggest that in fact they are not actually jewelry, but rather what? Well, we're back to another poem about writing poetry for Emily, and I think that's possibly what's going on here. Our assumption is that you've been following our stuff at learnstrong.net down that left-hand side, Chats with Emily, our playlist. I'm hopeful that you've already worked through our set of introductory comments and you've worked through the preceding 396 poems. As we said, we just finished with 396 and there's a Langer of the Life. Now, the great scholar Judith Farr has called this a sad poem, and I think there's good reason to see that the tone of this poem is a feeling maybe of being let down. Someone did not fully appreciate exactly what it is that she's trying to pull off in her poetry. And it is true that poem 441, This is my letter to the world that never wrote to me, judge tenderly of me is the way that the poem ends. It is true that so many of Emily's poems seem to almost be reaching out for some kind of assurance from somebody that what she's writing is legitimate, diamonds, if you will. When diamonds are a legend and diadems a tale, I, brooch and earrings for myself do sow and raise for sale. And though I am scarce accounted, my art, a summer day, had patrons. Once it was a queen, and once a butterfly. Now, do you guys remember when we did poem 372? She says, I know lives I could miss without a misery, others whose instance wanting would be eternity. The last a scanty number twere scarcely fill a two. The first a gnat's horizon could easily outgrow. This two number has been joined to the queen and the butterfly to suggest that who she's referencing is Sue and Sam Boyles, and we commented on it when we did poem 372 as well. Notice, she'll begin by talking about diamonds and legends. And again, if it's not that she wears, she apparently didn't wear jewelry. So what is going on here? I think probably this is right. She's equating her poetry with diamonds and with diadems, namely, jewelry. She says, when diamonds are a legend and diadems a tale, in other words, the great ones. I, brooch and earrings for myself, notice capitalized, do sow and raise for sale. Again, her economics language. We have already commented on the fact that Emily struggled with the idea of publishing her own stuff, if you will, selling her stuff. She is clearly concerned about whether she should do that or not. And though I am scarce accounted, many have read this as, Emily recognizes that the marketplace of poetry of her day is not welcoming to the kind of poetry that she's trying to produce. She'll call it my art, notice both capitalized, a summer day. What does she mean by this? It's like it's normal, it's fleeting, it's brilliant. I mean, she says, once I had patrons, once a queen, is that Sue, and once a butterfly, is that Sam Boyles? And do notice the distinction between the queen and the butterfly, is she making even a sideways comment at Boyles. I think in two ways the argument she's making is that it is hard for the creative artist to feel somehow unvalued in the project that she or he is creating. At 2b, well, the uncertainty here of the queen and the butterfly makes this a fun poem to read. And then at 3a, we've seen so many of these poems already, but of course, as we said, 372 is a companion read for sure to this one, I think. Finally, at 3b, to own a poem like this, who in your life respects your creative work? And to what degree are you grateful for them in your life? Thank you.